the side, ref.
In from the Side is back with another episode this week, and welcome back to my co-host and partner in crime, Matthew Rhodes. Matt, how's it going?
Yeah, good boy. No special introduction this week. What's up?
Yeah, I'm back at work this week, so
No time to research.
Stifle the creativity, but I'll be back next week. I'll have something special up my sleeve.
Thanks.
It's good to see you, bud. We always enjoy our Mondays with our full glasses of brandy. We are nearing the end of our Mount Rushmore series, which is exciting. We've got some good ideas for some future videos.
We've got this show and at least 2 more to go. We're going to go with the Loosehead props this week, and then we're going to finish the 1 to 15 selection with the hookers, and then, as per 1 or 2 requests that have come through, we're going to do coaches as well.
We're going to do coaches. I don't think we should do refs, because is there anything like a good ref? I don't know. That's debatable. Maybe back in the 90s, early 2000s.
There's a couple of decisions that have gone our way that I would think that he's a good ref.
Yeah, okay.
And conversely, maybe not.
So maybe we'll see if we do a ref, but I think we also need to do a Mount Rushmore of the most versatile players of all time. Players that have played in 3 or more positions at test level. So that'll be another challenge for us. We'll see what ChatGPT comes up for you on that video,
mate. The whole series has been a lot of fun. A lot of conjecture, a lot of debates. If you haven't yet, there's so many other shows that we've done so far. We've gone from 15, we're down to number 1 this week. Obviously skipping hooker, because we'll leave that to the end. As any good bloke knows, you always leave the hooker to the end of the end.
Absolutely. Let's get into it, Matt. Mount Rushmore of Loosehead props. We'll see how many tight heads you pick at Loosehead this week. You said you've got one controversial pick. Where do you want to start?
So this individual has played both tight head and loosehead, but I think loosehead, if I'm right, if my research is done well, was his preferred position, the one he played more often. And for me, there's not too many more legendary than Jason Leonard.
Yeah.
So Jason Leonard for England is an absolute legend in his own right. There are a few that obviously get talked about in the same ilk. A lot of our lads before, when we were talking about the props for England, talked about Sheridan. But for me, Jason Leonard, not only because of what he's done for England, but what he did for the Lions, and then what he did for English Rugby administration as well. I think he was president of English Rugby. He's just an all-round absolute champion.
Yeah, and also chairman of Lions Rugby for a couple of years. So,
correct.
I agree. He's on my Mount Rushmore.
Good on you.
I've picked him as well, and you're 100% right. I checked the footage. He did play both sides of the scrum.
Sides.
I think he was a better loosehead, but also looking at the tight heads I picked last week, I couldn't find space for him on the tight head side.
100%.
I think
same for me.
Most notably, if I remember correctly, he played tight head on that 97 Lions tour in the midweek games, but could, especially towards the latter stages of his career, when he came off the bench, a lot of the times he did fill in on both sides of the scrum, but when he really made his name as an England international, he did play on the loosehead side. So, I mean, what does it mean to be a legend? It doesn't just mean you played well and you played 114 tests, whatever it was. It's just your persona within and your profile within rugby is legendary, right? The only one that's excluded from this list is Bill Beaumont. He doesn't count. But Jason Leonard as an administrator, he's just a rugby man through and through, and his passion for the game still shows. He's well respected by his
100%.
Peers and people who've played with him. I'd be very surprised if we get a lot of pushback in the comments section. I mean, was he the best loosehead?
No.
Probably not.
I don't think
Does
he
he
was the
deserve
best.
to be recognized as a legend amongst legends? Absolutely.
I would chisel his face on a mountain. And that's the reason
You would
why.
do what in his face?
I would chisel.
Oh, okay. Just checking. I mean, he was good, but...
Anyway.
Okay.
A slip of the tongue, Freudian slip. He is outstanding, and he is lauded in English folklore, in the Lions folklore. But again, notwithstanding, he was a great prop in his own right.
Yeah.
And we've touched on this. He could play both sides of the scrum. He could do loosehead and tight head. I think loosehead he was more well known for. But 110, 14, 114 odd
114
caps.
caps, I think.
Rugby World Cup winner, 6 Nations titles, Grand Slams, British and Irish Lions, 3 tours, I think. Just the man is a legend. So fair play. And he's such a likable bloke as well.
He does seem like a very likable bloke. Absolutely.
Would definitely like to have a pint with him.
I'll have a pint or two.
At some point in our future, if that happens, I'll be a happy man. So he definitely goes up on our wall.
Someone in the UK, hook it up.
Yeah.
Please, organise us a meet and greet.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, well, 1 from 1. Who's the second name on your Mount Rushmore?
So this individual was just a stalwart for the All Blacks for so many years. And I couldn't see much further past Tony Woodcock.
Yeah.
So Tony Woodcock, again, I think like 110, 120 odd, I think 118 caps altogether, 2 Rugby World Cups, Rugby Championships, Tri-Nations, Super Rugby titles with the Blues and then with the Highlanders as well. Tony Woodcock was just a stalwart of that very fine All Black team of the kind of early 2010s and beyond.
Yeah.
And for me, he's outstanding.
No, I agree. Again, I've got a sneaking suspicion we might agree on all 4 on this list. I'd be very surprised if we don't, if we get past this. I agree, Tony Woodcock deserves to be up there. He's on my Mount Rushmore. We spoke about it when we spoke about the tight heads, Cole Heyman, a couple of the other guys, and also at lock, Sam
Ola
Whitelock.
Brown.
Ola Brown, but
you
more
loved.
sort of from the 2010s under Graham Henry. They lost 3 tests against South Africa in 2009, and then from 2010, I think they went back to the basics of rugby. Strong scrum, strong line out, strong in the set pieces, get the foundations of your set piece right. And guys like Woodcock were instrumental.
Yeah,
like New Zealand
100%.
flourished because they implemented not a different style of gameplay, but just they went back to the basics, got their foundations right. And he was core to that team. Scored a great try in the 2011 World Cup final.
Open
from
up.
the line out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Ball comes in, the line out moves. It was like Moses parting the Red Sea.
Absolutely.
And your man comes through. And the slide, which you don't often see with a forward. Usually it's a backline luxury to slide over. And your man just like, I've done this 400 times.
No, but it just illustrates his athleticism and his mobility as well. I mean, strong scrummager. He gave so many tight head props a real tough time. Yanni du Plessis struggled when the Boks played against him during that period. So he was strong at the basics. Again, what do we want a prop to do is scrum well. But at Loosehead, he did offer that mobility that other Looseheads didn't. So, absolute legend of the game. Loved him. Needs to be up there.
Like you said, a scrummaging powerhouse. Like the boy was there to scrum and he did his job. And just, again, all of the boys that we've talked about in our last show, we did the tight heads and now we're doing the loose heads. Every single one of those lads is kind of stoic. Like none of them are showboaters. None of them are like flashy. You leave that up to the boys in the back line.
Yeah.
Like these boys we know what we're here for. And Tony Woodcock is, cut from that same cloth. He wasn't very showy. 10 tries, I think, in total.
That's not bad for a front rower.
Good for a front rower, especially that 2011 try in the World Cup.
Yeah.
But your man was there to scrum and he did that exceptionally.
Yeah, great player. Loved it.
Nice one. Who'd you go 3?
Okay, again, a little bit of a green tint. I mean, what would a list be, of a tight 5 list be without South Africans in there? This guy, World Cup winner, legend of the game. Every single time he touches the ball, you hear the whole crowd chant his name. It's got to be Beast Mtawari.
And
so fellow Zimbo, Matt, so acknowledgement to his roots as well. But Beast for me, I mean, just an absolute legend of the game. Just a giant of South African rugby for well over a decade. I think his career spanned 12 seasons. Won a British and Irish Lions series. He famously dominated Phil Vickery in that first test in Durban, scrummed him to pieces. They had to bring Adam Jones in for the second test. Again, we spoke about mobility. I mean, how many highlights are there of Beast just running down the touchline? I think it was against Namibia in the 2011 World Cup where he ran 40, 50 meters before tripping over the fullback. I don't think that was a legit tackle. I think he tripped over him. But very mobile, strong ball carrier. But again, his scrummaging. You know, his last test ever for the Springboks was in the 2019 World Cup final.
And he dominated.
And he gave Dan Cole and the boys a real tough time. We won so many scrum penalties that really just helped us tick the points over, keep the scoreboard ticking. And ultimately, we won by quite a handsome score. And I think that all started up front between him and Kitsoff. You know, they dominated England on the day. And for me, Beast is one of the all-time greatest Springboks, 117 tests, one of 8 players to play more than 100 tests for South Africa, and he deserves to be up there.
Everything you say, I agree with 100%. And obviously the fact that he's an ex-Zimbabwe who came down and applied his trade in South Africa and is a true blue South African now by nationality, then happy days. I mean, as you say, he's one of 8 to wear the Springbok jersey 100 times.
Yeah.
I think, if I'm right in saying, he started at 8 and then moved to the front row.
He was a loose forward. He joined the Sharks Academy all the way down from Zim as a teenager, and he played in the back row. And I don't know who the coach was. Might have been Sean Everett at the time. Convinced him to move to prop. And I mean, what a great move for him.
But you see the versatility and the flexibility in his movement. As you say, some of those line breaks down the wing, the boy had agility.
He had
wheels. But like the strength of the man, the amount of times that you saw him when there was a kickoff, he would be holding up someone like, I don't know, Ryan Kankowski or someone, and they would go over to get the ball, and your man is holding him aloft. And you just think, that's got to be like 120 kgs.
Yeah. Famously, I think Anton Bresler was the guy that he lifted and he sort of fell over himself, but Beast just kept him there.
Held him up and brought him back. And if you got the footage, we got to show it.
Of course,
Beast, you're 100% right. He's number 3 on my list. You couldn't look too much further beyond him. There are some outstanding loosehead props that come out of South Africa.
Yep.
And it was tough to leave 1 or 2 off the list this week. I went backwards and forwards, but for me, and this isn't a sentimental thing, not the fact that he comes from Zim, Beast cements his place on that mountain.
Yeah, so now I'm worried because you just said you 1 or 2 South Africans that you left off the list. Matt, I'm curious to see who you picked for number 4, and if it isn't who I think it should be, I might end the show and never do this again. Who did you pick?
Well, there are a couple that came to mind. Christian Califano, for example. James Slipper.
Yeah, what legend.
Yeah, Joe Moody. Joe Moody was up there.
That's good.
I was back and forth. And then obviously, you mentioned last week Craig Dowd in that
him, Fitzpatrick and Brown. Mate, what a
unbelievable. Guy. But for me, there is one and one only. Last but never least, because I hold him in such regard and I wanted him to be the final on my list, and that's Oyster Randt.
That is the right answer.
We've been practicing high fives.
Yeah. We're now only just 2 fat pricks.
Yeah, exactly.
that can high five. Occasionally.
Correct.
Matt, I totally agree with you. I know I'm interrupting you here because you want to tell everybody how brilliant Os was, but Oyster Randt is still, I mean, he's retired 18 years ago. He stopped playing. He's still the greatest loosehead that's ever played the game. In my opinion, maybe I've got green tinted glasses on and I'm biased, but show me any guy who's had that sort of dynamic impact in the front row before or since. Again, strong scrummager, big as a house. But some of the tries he scored, I'm going to show one try, Matt, that he scored in the Currie Cup, in the days when the Currie Cup still meant something, where he ran like a centre, cut through the Transvaal line, playing for Free State, and he scored from 40 metres out. I mean, Os had a lot of pace. People underrate how quick he was, like Beast, very, very mobile.
He was very agile, yeah.
But defensively so strong. I mean, he's one guy I wouldn't want to run into. I only ever saw him, we made this comment when we did the British and Irish Lions team selection. Only one player I've ever seen bump him was Scott Gibbs. It happened once. in Os's entire career. But his story is quite inspirational. Like, he played many years for South Africa, won the World Cup in '95.
Yeah.
Injured his knee. He was a little bit, out of the game.
Unsure.
He didn't want to play, and he technically retired, right, from in the 2000 Super Rugby season. He played for the Bulls.
Went back to the Plas.
Retired, went back to the Plas, and then in 2002, he was out for 2.5 seasons. He got a phone call from Rassie, and Rassie's like, you think you're still good enough to go? You're young enough, get back. And he started playing for the Cheetahs in the Currie Cup, almost made the World Cup squad in 2003. Strolley didn't pick him, but Jake, I think, had the foresight. He brought Percy back, he brought Ors back. When he took over in 2004, he had that blend of experience and youth in that side.
Which you need.
And they won the Tri-Nations a couple of months after the Kamp Stolderad fiasco. So what Jake did with that side was amazing. And having guys like Percy and Ors come back and rub off some of that experience onto the younger generation like a Jean de Villiers and a Jacques Fourie and a Fourie de Pree, I think his impact on that Springbok side leading up to 2007 was immense.
Yeah.
And he was as good as ever. And what I love about Osa's story is it's a great redemption story. And he finished on the highest of highs in Paris, 20 October 2007. First double World Cup winner for South Africa, definitely not the last. But he was a trendsetter, mobile big man, the nicest guy off the field. I met him once or twice. He is the friendliest, chillest guy.
But like technically outstanding at his role, at his job, scrumming. So we talk about how he was agile, he was mobile, he could get around the park, and his work rate was phenomenal. Like the man would be at every breakdown. He was in the thick of everything. And every now and again outside, out in the wing, scoring a couple of tries here and there. Like he made himself available. And for a big lad, like he got about the place.
He was very quick.
Fair play to, like you say.
Mobile.
He'd make a break. But he was in there to scrum. And
Absolutely.
he did that without question. I defy anyone to show me where your man struggled against any other tight head.
Yeah.
Like he was the epitome of Loosehead scrummaging. And that's why, for me, he's on my mat.
Absolutely. Such a strong ball carrier as well. If you needed to make some yards, he scored a great try against Australia in 1997, where he just carried half of the Australian pack over the try line. You remember that famous tackle that US did on Jonah Lomu in the World Cup final in 95? Everyone forgets the smash that Ors did on Lomu in the same tackle. Like, US got him around the ankles and Ors just flew in from the side and took Jonah out. It was like a double barrel tackle. And like you say, he got around the park. Very mobile for a big guy, but very dynamic. That's the one word that I keep thinking of
100%.
about Ors. Matt, this was impressive because it's
This is the first time ever that we've gone 4-4.
Yeah, we agreed on all
Nice
four.
one, brother.
So it's going to be interesting.
I think that's a brandy moment.
That is a brandy moment. We'll take a quick pause.
Cheers.
It's the first time we haven't really debated a lot of these positions. So
No, but like,
I'm sure there will be folks out there that will differ. But again, it was difficult for some of these folks that missed out. You mentioned James Slipper. I had him on my shortlist. Califano, also someone that played both sides of the scrum. I rated him as a tight head. He probably was a better loosehead.
for me, honourable mentions, England, you've got Andrew Sheridan, which I know a lot of people...
Great scrummager.
A lot of people
awesome
love.
scrummager.
Marco Vinopolo. South Africa, you've got Stephen Kitsoff, Guthrie Steenkamp, Trevor Nyakani, who played both sides as well. But the one that was really, really tough for me to leave off was Oxenchair.
Yeah.
Because he's like...
I think Ox, when he retires,
will be up
he
there.
might supplant one of these guys on this list. Maybe a Jason Leonard or someone.
Like, for what he... Again, you talk about the 2019 World Cup where Beast just took on the boys and was like unwavering, unflinching, and created so much of that go-forward ball, but also created so much penalties because of the scrum penalties.
Yeah.
Ox did that for us in the most recent World Cup. 2023, that was a man. And there's like, I think he was talking about in the game against England, I think maybe against Genji or someone. He was talking about that one moment that turned the game for us.
Yes.
It's in the Chasing the Sun.
It's in Chasing the Sun. It's when Kurtley Orenson knocked the ball
Yeah.
in our own 22, and everyone just went to Kurtley and said, "Don't worry, we got this." And then Oxus was like, "We'll win the scrum. Don't worry, we'll get out of here." And we won a penalty. And again, Won a crucial penalty for Pollard to kick the final points. I mean, he showed his impact on Saturday.
Yeah.
He replaced Thomas du Toit, came onto the field, dominated the scrum. Great set piece. Edwulf van der Merwe scores in the corner. So,
which we're going to get to after this. We're going to do a second show on Wednesday today. It's probably today. And we're going to talk about all the weekend's game, but we'll review all of that. And you're 100% right. Your man came on this weekend and was outstanding.
Yeah,
So very difficult
he's
for me.
world-class.
Very difficult for me to leave off. I think for New Zealand, a couple, Joe Moody, Case Muse, Craig Dowd, who you mentioned. We talked about Wilson Winneray last week.
Yeah.
I had him as a loosehead, but you talked about him last week. Maybe
back in the day, mate, they were very interchangeable, tight head and loosehead, but he was a legend.
In Australia, Tony Daly is well known.
Yeah, him and Ewan McKenzie, Phil Kearns, that was a good front row.
Ben Robinson, who I loved to watch Ben Robinson play. James Slipper, Scott Seo, Bill Young, and then Matt Dunning. So
famous dropkick wizard Matt Dunning.
Correct.
Okay.
But I love Matt Dunning. Okay.
Okay.
And then France had a few: Christian Califano, Sylvain Mocane, Jean-Baptiste Pou for Italy, Castro Giovanni.
Did he play loosehead?
Did he?
I remember it was a tight head, but maybe he did play a couple on the loose.
Cicero, and then obviously Ireland, Cian Healy.
Yeah, Cian Healy's up there.
That was the one that really I struggled with because I loved watching Cian Healy. Sid Miller for Ireland as well. Gethin Jenkins for Wales.
Mate, he was literally, Gethin Jenkins was literally number 5 on my list.
I know, it's tough, eh?
I don't think people realise how good he was as a loosehead. Again, very mobile in the tight loose, strong scrummager. I think he's the best loosehead that Wales has ever produced. Obviously, there's Charlie Faulkner, part of the famous Pontypool front row, but
yeah.
Gethin Jenkins for me, mate, he was nipping at the heels.
He was my number 5 as well.
Yeah, he's really good.
Really, really
he was
tough.
really good.
You got for Scotland Tom Smith as well.
Legend.
I know, dude.
Love Tom Smith. Better,
Tommy.
Yeah,
Tommy
like
boy.
one of the all-time greatest lines front rowers ever.
And I think we talked about this at the time. Almost greater for the Lions than it was for Scotland, but still great for Scotland.
It's great for Scotland.
Argentina had Rodrigo Roncero, and then afterwards Marcus Ayerza. But one that maybe doesn't get talked about enough was for Tonga. So when Tonga Van.
Yeah.
I didn't say that right, but
tell me about him.
Tonga way.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Oh, mate. So I think he had 18 caps for Tonga. And then in the 2007 World Cup, I think he was up against our boys, and had it been a different way, like he dominated on his side on the loosehead against us, it could have gone either way.
We almost lost that game.
And we almost lost that game. And a lot of it, I think, came down to the scrum dominance, which was down to him. So,
okay.
Forgive me for not saying it correctly.
I think I know of who you speak, Matt, but some of the older guys that we haven't spoken about. You mentioned Christian Califano. I really rated him in the 90s. I thought he was a great prop. The two McLaughlins, Ray McLaughlin and Ian McLaughlin from Scotland and Ireland, they both deserve a mention. Ian McLaughlin sadly passed away a couple of weeks ago, but he was really great. Cian Healy we spoke about. Morf Meiberg, dude, Frick de Pree's best mate. The stories that I can tell you about those two guys. Morf Meiberg's an absolute legend of South African rugby. One of the hardest men in the front row, played in the 60s. Great player. Stephen Kitsoff we spoke about. Ayerza, I think, deserves
Can I just stop there? Kitsi, I think, is so underrated. Like, I know he's just retired and the like, but, and, you know, through injury, fair play. From Ginger to Ginger, thank you, boy. Like, he was an absolute legend, and he did outstanding work for us. He was just an unsung hero. Like, he is amazing. 2 World Cups, but the boy is just a stalwart. Like, he was one of those guys who just went about his business, not flashy. Again, typical loosehead.
One of the greats, one of the all-time greats. Love you, Kitsi.
Love you, Kitsi.
Marcos Ayerza, you mentioned, I think he deserves a special mention as well. I remember vividly in sort of the mid-2010s where he gave South Africa so much trouble in the scrums, mate. We struggled against Argentina, and he was like they did what South Africa does today. They made mistakes to scrum because they knew they'll get a scrum penalty. That's how good he was. Roberto Grau, Roncero you spoke about. Topo Rodriguez, who played for Australia in the 87 World Cup. Great.
Lots of people on the research on the forums talked about him.
Yeah, great player.
Yeah.
Very, very good in the loose as well. Fran Cotton, great English and British and Irish Lion of the early 70s. He deserves a mention. Cyril Bay, Pascal Ondard from France. He was great in the earlier days. Andrew Porter, current Lion. I think he's maybe worthy of a mention. Again, he's not up there as one of the greats, but he's a decent player.
Yeah, 100% worthy of a mention. Played well on the weekend as well, I think. And then I think he's going to be one of those guys who, when he retires, will be someone that you look at and go,
maybe,
great.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. He's got big shoes to fill in Keanili, right?
I don't think, look, I mean, again, good player. I don't think he's one of the best four.
No, definitely not. Steve McDowell, I had up, great All Black of the early 90s, late 80s. David Soul, Scottish captain in the 1990 Grand Slam. Great player. He deserves a mention. Also British and Irish Lion. Farney Keane. I'm going to post a picture. I'll show this. Farney Keane is the spitting image of Vince Koch. They look like father and son. They look exactly the same. But Farney Keane and Chris Koch, Springboks from the earlier years, from the 40s to the 60s. And then I did mention Charlie Faulkner, who with Bobby Windsor was part of that, and Graham Price was part of that great Pontypool front row for Wales in the 70s. So, yeah, lots of great names, but I think there's consensus for the first time ever, which is nice.
First time ever, we agree on all four. Now, we agree. Does that mean you agree? Like, at the end of the day, we'd love to hear your comments, your thoughts, your suggestions. Who do we miss out on? Who do you think would be that one person that pips any one of our four? At the end of the day, we agree.
Yeah, we agree. Give us your comments in the comment section below. Give us a like and a subscribe. Click the little notification button to get notified of all our new videos every single week. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. We're all over social media. We'll do this again next week. Cheers.